Hope you enjoyed episode 5. Let us dive into the story of two vampires named Ram and Leela and their fight to save the future of vampires and humans. Episode 1, Arrival in Mystic Falls. The night was cloaked in a somber hue as Leela and I soared through the starless sky, drawn to the ancient town of Mystic Falls by a foreboding prophecy. Legends whispered of the spiteful Lord Delemare and his possession of the dreaded White Stone, a key to unleash the destructive demon Black upon both vampire and human alike. Such a cataclysmic event demanded our attention, for we were the sentinels of the night, the protectors of balance. Descending gracefully, our silent footfalls carried us through the deserted streets of Mystic Falls, a quaint hamlet ensnared in the eternal grip of twilight. We disguised ourselves as mortal inhabitants, opting for anonymity to better understand the town's pulse and discern its secrets. Leela, with her raven tresses cascading like a waterfall of darkness, bewitched the unsuspecting locals, allured by her enigmatic aura. Yet, beneath her captivating charm lay a force of unimaginable strength, and though I was not as formidable as she, my powers and experience were honed by 3 centuries of existence. We rented a humble abode on the outskirts of the town, carefully orchestrating the illusion of an ordinary couple, seeking solace from an elusive past. As we settled into our temporary sanctuary, I couldn't shake the feeling that Mystic Falls held more than just the looming threat of Lord Delemare and his White Stone. The air carried a forewarning, and I wondered if our arrival had stirred dormant shadows that should have remained slumbering. Unbeknownst to the townsfolk, Leela and I began our clandestine investigations, threading through layers of deception and denial. We frequented the local tavern, listening to rumors and witnessing the townspeople's fear-stricken eyes. Mystic Falls' history was rich with secrets, and the town's archives held tales of tragedies long past, hinting at ancient rituals, forgotten evils, and a darkness waiting to be unchained. One night, as we ventured into the heart of the forest, where whispers of ancient forces resided, we stumbled upon an ancient druidic site. A gnarled oak stood sentinel over a forgotten altar, its roots gripping the soil like the fingers of a vengeful spirit. As we delved deeper into the woods, an unnatural chill shrouded us, seeping into our very souls. Shadows danced in the corner of our vision, and eerie whispers swirled around us like specters of doom. Our hearts raced, and I could feel Leela's unease even in her composed demeanor. "We are not alone," I whispered, my eyes darting around the darkness. "There's something ancient here, lurking in the veil between worlds." Leela nodded, her senses attuned to the shifting energies. "Let us tread cautiously, Ram. These woods hold memories of forgotten horrors." Our exploration uncovered fragments of an ominous tale. It spoke of an ancient covenant struck between a powerful druidic order and a malicious force. The White Stone, a once sacred artifact, had been tainted by the promise of godlike power. With Black's name bound to it, the stone transformed from a symbol of hope to an instrument of chaos. A sinister revelation sent shivers down our spines. Lord Delamare's intentions were not merely to attain dominion over vampires and humans, but to defy the balance that held the world together. He sought to summon Black and unleash devastation, tearing apart the very fabric of existence. The realization urged us to hasten our quest. Each day brought us closer to confronting Lord Delemare, yet the shadows grew darker around us. Leela's anxiety escalated, and the pressure of our shared burden weighed heavily upon me. I knew that together, we could stand against any adversary, but Leela's steadfastness was the beacon that guided my resolve. One evening, as we contemplated our next move in the solitude of our humble sanctuary, a knock echoed through the stillness. Cautiously, I opened the door, revealing a woman with haunting eyes that mirrored the sorrow etched in her features. "My name is Alara," she whispered, her voice trembling with fear. "I know of your quest, for I have sought answers too. Lord Delemare and his White Stone have caused immeasurable pain." Inviting her inside, we listened to Alara's tale of grief and loss. She had once been a druidic apprentice, but her kind-heartedness clashed with the darkness that lurked within the order. Fearing for her life, she fled, vowing to undo the evil she had inadvertently contributed to. Alara revealed that the white stone's power could be nullified by an ancient rite, requiring the essence of pure intentions. Despite the risks, she offered to aid us in our endeavor to thwart Lord Delemare. As the moon ascended the sky, we stood together beneath the looming oak, surrounded by the ancient druidic symbols. Alara chanted in a long-forgotten tongue, channeling the pure energy of her soul, while Leela and I merged our supernatural strength. The air crackled with intensity, and the ground trembled beneath our feet. Unleashing the white stone's malevolence was no trivial task, and as the ritual reached its climax, the ground beneath us erupted with dark tendrils. A rift tore open, revealing a twisted portal, the conduit to summon Black himself. In that decisive moment, the combined might of our resolve prevailed. The white stone's malevolence began to wane, and Black's apparition faltered, repelled by the purity of Alara's intentions. Though our immediate threat had been quelled, our mission was far from over. Lord Delamare's intentions remained an ominous specter, and the shadows in Mystic Falls seemed to whisper their secrets louder than ever before. As we returned to our sanctuary, we knew that we had disrupted the dark design, but the dangers still loomed, and our trials were far from concluded. We vowed to stay vigilant, to protect both the vampire and human worlds from the impending storm. With Alara by our side, we formed an unyielding alliance, a triad of strength, purity, and wisdom. Our destinies intertwined, we would face Lord Delamare's malevolence head-on, unafraid of the darkness, for our resolve and unity were unbreakable. Episode 2, Hunting for Game. In the days that followed our encounter with Alara and the thwarted summoning of the demon Black, a sense of urgency hung in the air like a pervasive fog. Mystic Falls had become a battleground of hidden agendas, and we, the enigmatic trio, found ourselves entangled in a dance with shadows. Our quest to protect both vampires and humans from Lord Delamare's spitefulness demanded strength and stealth, but survival was paramount. As creatures of the night, we required sustenance, and the dilemma of hunting for food without drawing attention posed a formidable challenge. Leela, with her age-old wisdom, proposed a solution. She had sensed an isolated region on the outskirts of Mystic Falls, a forest teeming with wildlife yet untouched by human encroachment. Venturing into the heart of the wilderness, we hoped to find nourishment without endangering the town's inhabitants. As the moon ascended, we ventured forth, our senses attuned to the subtlest movements. The forest's ancient trees whispered secrets of forgotten ages, their branches extending like skeletal arms, caressed by the gentle night breeze. Moonlight filtered through the dense canopy, casting intricate patterns on the forest floor. Alara, once a druidic apprentice, moved with an ethereal grace, her steps barely disturbing the underbrush. Her connection to nature granted her an understanding of the delicate balance between predator and prey, and she guided us towards the most abundant hunting grounds. As we treaded silently, a shift in the air alerted us to the presence of our quarry. Deer grazed peacefully in a moonlit glade, their gentle demeanor contrasting with the danger that lurked among them. I felt a pang of regret, for our nature as vampires demanded the sacrifice of innocent lives to sustain our existence. Leela placed a reassuring hand on my shoulder, sensing my turmoil. In the grand scheme of things, Ram, it is not only survival but how we wield our strength that defines us. We take only what is necessary, mindful of the harmony we must maintain. Drawing from her wisdom, I steadied myself, understanding that our actions were not devoid of consequence. With solemn determination, we selected our prey, mindful to avoid causing unnecessary suffering. As predators, we were guardians of the balance, and each life taken weighed heavily on our souls. Alara performed a druidic ritual, a gesture of reverence and respect for the lives we consumed. She thanked the spirits of the fallen for sustaining us, acknowledging the cycle of life and death that bound us all. Through the course of our nocturnal hunts, I observed Leela's affinity for both Alara and me, her unwavering strength complemented by our compassion and wisdom. As we sat under the ancient oaks, sharing stories of our distant pasts, I felt a sense of camaraderie that transcended time. In each other's company, we found solace in the face of impending doom. As the days melded into one another, we delved deeper into Mystic Falls' enigmatic history, unearthing forgotten prophecies and arcane lore. Alara's knowledge of the Druidic order proved invaluable, providing insight into Lord Delamare's potential motivations and vulnerabilities. One moonlit night, a cryptic message surfaced, whispers of an ancient relic, the Moonstone. Legend held that the Moonstone possessed a power capable of counteracting the White Stone. This newfound hope ignited a spark within us, a glimmer of a chance to protect both worlds from the impending doom. Guided by the clues of forgotten sages, we embarked on a treacherous journey to find the elusive Moonstone. Its location remained shrouded in mystery, hidden within the labyrinthine catacombs beneath Mystic Falls. Navigating the twisting tunnels, we encountered ancient traps and spectral guardians protecting the relic. Leela's strength and Alara's affinity with the spiritual realm proved invaluable as we faced each challenge head-on, united in purpose and unwavering resolve. Finally, after a series of perilous trials, we reached the heart of the catacombs, where the Moonstone lay enshrined in an ethereal glow. The relic seemed to pulse with a life of its own, a symbol of hope in the face of darkness. As I reached for the Moonstone, a premonition washed over me, a vision of Lord Delemare drawing ever closer to the climax of his malicious plans. Our time was running out, and our confrontation with him loomed on the horizon. With the Moonstone in our possession, we returned to our sanctuary, knowing that its power could be the key to countering the impending catastrophe. But the stakes were higher than ever, and the battle ahead would be more than a physical confrontation. It would be a test of strength, unity, and the very essence of our beings. Episode 3, Ram Almost Dies. As the days wore on, a sense of impending doom seemed to tighten its grip on Mystic Falls. Lord Delamere's maliciousness loomed like a dark cloud on the horizon, and the burden of stopping him weighed heavily on our shoulders. The Moonstone, a glimmer of hope, was our only chance at countering the White Stone's power and preventing the summoning of the Demon Black. Alara, Leela, and I gathered around the Moonstone in our sanctuary, devising a plan to confront Lord Delemare. Each of us brought unique strengths to the table, Alara's druidic wisdom, Leela's unmatched power, and my 3 centuries of experience. But despite our unity, unease lingered in the air, the uncertainty of our odds clawing at our resolve. Lord Delamare's power is formidable, Alara said softly, her eyes reflecting the weight of our task. To face him, we must be prepared for the darkness he wields. Leela nodded, her gaze unwavering. We cannot falter. The fate of both worlds rests upon our shoulders. I couldn't help but feel a sense of trepidation, but I knew that fear would only impede us. We had come too far to turn back now. As the moon waxed full, we set our plan into motion. Armed with the Moonstone and the strength of our alliance, we ventured into the heart of Mystic Falls to confront Lord Delemare. The townsfolk, unaware of the impending danger, went about their lives, blissfully ignorant of the force that lurked in the shadows. Our journey led us to an ancient cathedral, rumored to be Lord Delamare's lair. The structure's crumbling facade stood as a testament to the passage of time, yet the darkness it housed was timeless, unfathomable. The cathedral's interior was a labyrinth of shadows, a fitting abode for the sinister lord. Murmurs of ancient rituals whispered through the halls, and the air was heavy with an oppressive aura. With Alara's guidance, we navigated the labyrinth, drawing closer to the heart of Lord Delamare's. As we approached his inner sanctum, a sense of foreboding intensified, and I could feel the weight of his gaze upon us even before we laid eyes on him. The moment we entered the sanctum, we faced Lord Delamare's piercing gaze, eyes that seemed to pierce through our souls. The White Stone hung ominously from his neck. "So, you have come to thwart my plans," he sneered, his voice dripping with arrogance. "You are but mere insects, futile in your attempts to defy me." "We are not here to defy you," Alara replied calmly. "We are here to restore the balance you have disrupted." In that moment, a battle of wills commenced. Lord Delemare unleashed dark energies, but Leela's power matched his blow for blow. Her strength seemed boundless, and I marveled at the force she possessed. Meanwhile, I used my experience to dodge his attacks and launch counterstrikes. Alara's druidic magic enveloped us, shielding us from harm and bolstering our resolve. She chanted incantations that resonated with the natural forces around us, channeling their power into our struggle. But despite our combined strength, Lord Delemare was relentless. His power seemed to draw from the depths of darkness itself, and we struggled to match his evil intent. He toyed with us, reveling in our desperation. In a moment of vulnerability, I was caught off guard by one of his strikes. Pain seared through my body as I felt my strength waning. Leela's eyes widened in horror as she witnessed my faltering form. "No, Ram," she cried out, rushing to my side. Alara's eyes widened with concern, and she channeled her magic towards me, trying to mend my wounds. But the darkness that had enveloped me proved formidable, resisting her efforts. Leela's voice trembled with emotion as she cradled my weakened form. "I won't let you die, Ram. You can't leave me." But the darkness clawed at me, threatening to pull me into its abyss. I felt myself slipping away, my consciousness fading. In that moment of despair, I realized the depth of our bond, the unbreakable connection that united us as a triad. Summoning the last of my strength, I reached out to the moonstone, its cool surface pulsating with energy. With a surge of determination, I infused its power into my being, using it to repel the darkness that sought to claim me. The effect was instantaneous, the darkness recoiled, and my strength returned in a surge of renewed vigor. I stood once more, stronger than before, fueled by the power of the moonstone. Lord Delamare's grin faltered, and he seemed taken aback by our resilience. But our resolve had only grown, and we fought with renewed determination. The battle raged on, the forces of light and darkness colliding in a cataclysmic clash. But in the end, it was our unity that proved our greatest strength. Together, we channeled the power of the moonstone, and its light overwhelmed the darkness that had consumed Lord Delemare. In his moment of vulnerability, Alara performed a druidic ritual, severing the bond between Lord Delemare and the white stone. The stone crumbled into dust, and it dissipated like smoke in the wind. Defeated, Lord Delemare vanished into the shadows, leaving behind the echoes of his ambition. As the dust settled, we stood together, triumphant but weary. The threat of Black and Lord Delamare's demonic intent had been averted, and the balance of both worlds had been preserved. Our alliance had proven its worth, and we knew that as long as we stood united, we could face any darkness that loomed on the horizon. With the moonstone in our possession, we returned to our sanctuary, grateful for each other's presence and the strength we had drawn from our bond. The battle had been harrowing, and the scars would linger, but we knew that we were stronger for it. As the moon dipped below the horizon, we welcomed the coming dawn with hope in our hearts. Our journey was far from over, but together, we would face whatever challenges lay ahead. Episode 4, Hunt for the White Stone. The defeat of Lord Delemare was a momentous victory, but our respite was brief. The absence of his EVL in Mystic Falls did not mean that the threat had vanished entirely. The White Stone still existed, and its potential to wreak havoc on both vampire and human worlds remained a lurking specter. With renewed purpose, we focused our efforts on uncovering the White Stone's whereabouts. Alara delved into ancient tomes and consulted with mystic sources, seeking any hint or clue that could lead us to its hiding place. "I sense an ancient presence," Alara revealed one evening, her brow furrowed in concentration. "A source of great power lies beyond Mystic Falls, concealed within a sanctuary of ancient guardians." Leela nodded thoughtfully. "Then we must set forth immediately. We cannot allow the White Stone to fall into the wrong hands again." The decision was unanimous, and we set out on a perilous journey beyond Mystic Falls. Guided by Alara's intuition, we trekked through treacherous terrains and faced obstacles both natural and supernatural. As we traversed dense forests and rugged mountains, we encountered ancient guardians, elemental beings whose duty was to protect the sanctuaries of power. Alara's druidic wisdom allowed us to communicate with these mystical creatures, convincing them of our noble intentions. In return for our respect for their domains, the elemental guardians granted us passage. Each encounter left me in awe of the vastness and complexity of the supernatural world. At last, after days of relentless pursuit, we reached a secluded valley, hidden from mortal eyes. Alara's instincts guided us to a hidden cave entrance, concealed behind a cascading waterfall. The natural beauty of the place was breathtaking, but an air of solemnity surrounded it, hinting at the ancient power that lay within. With cautious steps, we entered the cave, and its interior proved to be a maze of winding tunnels and hidden chambers. Faint symbols adorned the walls, telling tales of a time long forgotten. "We must be vigilant," Alara warned, her eyes scanning the surroundings. "The guardians of this sanctuary will not allow anyone to desecrate its sacred power." Leela nodded, her senses keenly attuned to any presence that might challenge us. "Agreed. Let us proceed with caution." As we ventured deeper, the atmosphere grew heavy, and an eerie silence filled the air. We encountered several tests, trials designed to challenge the purity of one's intentions and the strength of their resolve. Alara's affinity with nature and Leela's formidable power proved crucial in overcoming each obstacle. Finally, at the heart of the sanctuary, we found what we sought, the white stone, resting atop a pedestal. "We must act quickly," I urged, my heart pounding with anticipation and dread. "This stone cannot remain here." Alara nodded in agreement. "I can attempt a ritual to neutralize its maliciousness, but we must act in unison to prevent any unforeseen consequences." With the moonstone in hand, we formed a circle around the white stone. Alara's druidic incantations entwined with Leela's raw power and my ancient knowledge, creating a powerful amalgamation of forces. The air crackled with energy, and the stone pulsed with a desperate resistance. The forces at play were unimaginable, and for a moment, I feared that we might be overwhelmed. But we stood united, drawing strength from our bond, and as one, we channeled the moonstone's light into the white stone. The evil intent wavered, faltering under the force of our combined will. In that moment of vulnerability, Alara enacted her final ritual, severing the white stone's connection to its past. The transformation was palpable. The once sinister stone now emanated a gentle aura of purity. "We have done it," Alara whispered, her voice filled with awe. "The white stone is no longer a weapon of destruction." Tension that had coiled within us like a tightly wound spring finally released, leaving us breathless with relief. Our duty fulfilled, we returned the white stone to its sacred pedestal, where it would be guarded by the elemental beings. It was a reminder of the fragile balance we strived to maintain, a balance that required vigilance and unity. With the threat of the white stone neutralized, we returned to Mystic Falls, victorious but forever changed. Our journey had forged an unbreakable bond among us, a bond that surpassed the boundaries of time and species. The townsfolk remained oblivious to the dangers we had faced, going about their lives, unaware of the shadowed corners and the battles waged in the darkness. Yet, we knew that our work was far from over. Mystic Falls had been our battleground, but there were other realms where EVL lurked, seeking to disrupt the equilibrium. As the moon ascended the sky, we stood atop a hill, gazing out at the town below. In the silence of the night, we shared a knowing look, a look that conveyed the shared burden we bore and the unity that bound us. Our alliance, forged in the crucible of darkness, would forever stand as a testament to the strength that lay in unity, compassion, and wisdom. With the dawn on the horizon, we embraced the new day, ready to face whatever challenges awaited us in the future. The story of Ram, Leela, and Alara had only just begun. Episode 5, Aftermath. In the aftermath of our triumphant victory over the evil that threatened both vampire and human worlds, a newfound sense of peace settled upon Mystic Falls. The once ominous atmosphere seemed to lift, replaced by a lingering aura of hope and renewal. With the white stone neutralized and Lord Delamare's ambitions thwarted, we revealed in a moment of respite. The townsfolk continued their lives, unaware of the peril that had loomed over them, and we remained concealed within the shadows, ever watchful for signs of darkness resurfacing. As the days turned to weeks, our alliance grew stronger, the bond between Ram, Leela, and Ilara transcending mere camaraderie. We had become a family, a trinity of immortal souls united by a shared purpose and destiny. Leela, once a dominating and solitary force, had discovered the strength of vulnerability and compassion. Her relationship with Ram had softened her edges, and in Ilara's presence, she found solace in the warmth of friendship. Ilara, with her ancient druidic knowledge, became a beacon of wisdom and guidance for both Ram and Leela. Her connection to the natural world kept us grounded amidst the chaos of the supernatural, reminding us of the delicate balance that must be preserved. Ram, the oldest among us, found a sense of purpose beyond his centuries of existence. In Leela and Ilara, he saw kindred spirits, and in their companionship, he discovered the true meaning of companionship and camaraderie. But even in our newfound harmony, the shadows of Mystic Falls had not entirely relented. Rumors of a secret society, a cabal of dark magic wielders seeking to upset the balance, reached our ears. "We must investigate," Ilara urged, her eyes filled with concern. "The white stone may be neutralized, but the forces are relentless." Leela nodded, her resolve unwavering. "We cannot allow darkness to take root in Mystic Falls once more." Agreeing on our course of action, we embarked on a discreet quest to unveil the enigmatic society. Delving into the town's history, we discovered ancient tomes that hinted at the cabal's existence, woven through the fabric of time like an intricate tapestry. As we followed the trail of clues, we encountered adversaries more cunning and elusive than we had ever faced. Shadows lurked around every corner, and danger seemed to linger in the air like a foul stench. The town's inhabitants remained oblivious to the lurking danger, their days filled with laughter, love, and the ordinary routines of life. We chose to shield them from the truth, for innocence was a fragile treasure that deserved preservation. In our pursuit, we encountered formidable foes, dark magic practitioners who wielded ancient relics with sinister intentions. It was a chilling reminder that the battle between light and darkness was an eternal one. Each confrontation tested the strength of our alliance. Ilara's druidic magic countered the dark arts, Ram's experience provided strategic insights, and Leela's unmatched power struck fear into the hearts of our adversaries. In the heart of Mystic Falls, we finally faced the cabal's leader, an enigmatic figure shrouded in a cloak of darkness. His eyes glowed with an unholy light, revealing an evil soul. "You are but insects," he hissed, his voice echoing through the desolate street. "You cannot comprehend the power I wield." "We may be outnumbered, but we stand united," Ram declared, his voice resolute. "Your spiteful intent will not prevail." The battle that ensued was one for the ages. The cabal's leader summoned dark forces that threatened to consume us, but we fought back with a ferocity born of our unity. Leela unleashed her power like a tempest, and the elemental forces rallied to her side. Ilara's druidic magic merged with the natural energies, creating a formidable barrier against the dark arts. But the cabal's leader proved a formidable adversary, and we struggled to gain the upper hand. In a desperate moment, I reached into the depths of my being, drawing upon the moonstone's power that still coursed through me. The moonstone's light infused my every move, granting me an otherworldly strength. With renewed vigor, I launched a counter-strike that pushed back the dark forces. Together, we unleashed a final assault, our alliance converging into a torrent of power that shattered the cabal's leader's malicious intent. As the dust settled, the cabal's leader lay defeated, his essence dissipating into the night. Our victory had come at a great cost, leaving us weary but resolute. We had protected Mystic Falls once more, but we knew that our journey was far from over. The forces of darkness were boundless, and we had pledged to be its eternal guardians. As we retreated into the shadows once more, our alliance remained unbroken, forged in the crucible of battles fought and won. Mystic Falls continued to thrive in blissful ignorance, and in the heart of the town, a newfound sense of harmony prevailed. But beneath the surface, we remained vigilant, ever watchful for signs of darkness stirring. For as long as his evil lurked in the shadows, Ram, Leela, and Ilara would stand united, bound by their alliance, driven by their purpose, and fueled by the indomitable power of hope and unity. And so, the story of Ram, Leela, and Alara continued, for theirs was a tale that transcended time, a saga of courage, strength, and the eternal struggle between light and darkness.